Hello everyone, welcome to another Roguelike of the Week. This week the roguelike in question is Rogue Effect. If the title didn't give it away, then the visual design of this title screen here probably will. This is inspired by Mass Effect, specifically by the multiplayer aspect of the Mass Effect sequels. So it's not a space exploration RPG kind of roguelike, it's more of an arena combat thing, but that will become apparent as we enter. So, as it says, let's press a key to continue. And a nice little Mass Effect style pan there. Okay, so there is a whole game manual and all that kind of thing. We could have a quick look at that. It gives you all the information about how movement and combat and cover works. Yes, there is indeed cover. Because this isn't just a sort of Mass Effect theme on an otherwise bog standard roguelike. It actually tries to implement some of the mechanisms from Mass Effect. So let's hop into New Game, and you'll see straight away we have the major character classes. I think that might be all of them, actually, but it's certainly the major ones. For a while, I think this just had Soldier. It may have had Soldier and Engineer, something like that, but now it's been filled out to have all of these classes. The one I tend to be best with is Adept, because I find Singularity very powerful, much like it is in the game. If you're familiar with Mass Effect at all, then you'll recognise some of these abilities and biotic powers and such. What I tend to do when I play as the Adept is basically just focus on Singularity to make that as powerful as possible, and also Alliance training and fitness for the sort of physical combat aspect. Soldier is pretty good as well, although frag grenades are actually in limited supply. You keep having to pick up replacement grenades, as you do in Mass Effect. So that power has a strange sort of secondary limitation to it, which makes it a bit awkward to use. Combat Drone is pretty good, and you tend to be able to use it quite frequently, but I do find the Engineer tricky to use. And then we have all of this stuff with, cryoblast, sticky grenades, that kind of stuff, in the different character classes. So there's plenty for you to experiment with to see which you play with best. But since Adept is my personal favourite, at least so far, let's do that. So, straight away, we're thrown in here, and it gives you a little mission at the top. Area is uncontrolled. Basically, we pretty much need to fight everything. I mean, that's not necessarily the case, and it's not always clear what the game wants you to do. So you have a slightly different function on each floor, or you can have a slightly different function from floor to floor. On some floors, you just need to get to the exit. And on other floors, it will actually, if you find the exit, it won't let you use the exit until you've destroyed all resistance. And it's not very clear, based on the little mission you get at the beginning there, which task you're being required to perform. So I find it's generally a good idea to basically just search for the exit and then see if it'll let you leave. So, straight away here, you might notice some familiar stuff. We've got some of our powers in the top left there. We don't have them all unlocked. We will have to unlock more by spending points as we gain character levels, much like in Mass Effect. All the characters start out with Cobra Missile, Shield Pack, and Medigel. Now, in the sort of bottom-ish central part of the display here, you'll see there's a purple bar and a series of red segments. That's your shield and your health. Shield will regenerate, so that will be depleted first as you take hits, and when your shield is completely depleted, you'll start taking health damage. But your shield does regenerate over time, as long as you're not taking further hits. The Ops Shield Pack will allow us to immediately fully restore our shield, and Medigel, of course, will heal us, heal our health. The Cobra Missile is basically a limited-use rocket launcher, which will be useful for taking out little clumps of enemies, but because we only get 2 shots, and at least so far I haven't found any way of replenishing that ammunition, you want to use it sparingly. In the sort of mid to bottom left area, you'll notice it tells us what our weapon is. We're currently using an M4 Shuriken, which I think is an SMG. And then underneath it says S, switch to M3 Predator. So all of the classes have a sort of backup pistol I believe. But different classes have a different primary weapon. This one has an SMG, some of them have shotguns and assault rifles and so on. But you can pick up other weapons as you roam around. If you look at the bottom sort of southern section of the room at the moment, near where that flashing highlighted A character is, you'll see just to the right of there is kind of a sniper rifle standing on end. So we could go and pick that up and replace one of our existing weapons with that sniper rifle. But I probably won't bother. Not a great fan of sniper rifles. So what else have we got in the display at the moment before we start moving? Obviously, in the bottom left we have a list of keyboard commands, which is very useful. I wish more roguelikes would do that. And there's us in sort of the top leftish area, the @ sign, as you might expect. And we're looking at a couple of Geth assault troopers. We'll run into a lot of Geth here, but as we progress we will start running into things like Cerberus gun turrets and things. So it does vary a bit as we get further in. So we've got 2 Geth assault troopers within our range of vision at the moment, but I can guarantee there will almost certainly be more of them. Those sort of yellow, brown, beigey pie symbols are cover. So we can hide behind those to give us some protection, but also shoot over them. Whereas the sort of blue-green hash symbols are solid walls, which of course we can hide behind, but we won't be able to shoot over or round them without stepping out of cover. So, let's get moving, shall we? So the first thing I probably need to do is head for cover, because I'm right out in the open here. So I'll sprint down here. And you can see we got a little couple of arrows flashing up there, which tells you that you can actually hop over the cover there, if you're so inclined. Also, if an enemy stands directly opposite you on the other side of cover, you can perform a grab just by tapping the direction towards them, and that's a devastating melee attack. But first things first, let's press number 1 to launch a singularity at that Geth assault trooper. We can use tab to change which enemy within vision we want to aim at. So let's just aim at the nearest one here. So we'll zoom out our singularity there. And we landed it right on the assault trooper. So now the singularity, it will have a recharge time before we can use it again. But for the duration that that singularity is sort of within range of an enemy, it will do damage and that kind of thing. So let's just start chipping away at it with our SMG by pressing F. There we go. But you'll see our ammo is depleting in the bottom left. So we will need to reload soon. And we only have so much ammunition on hand, so we'll need to make a point of picking some up as we move around the levels. So we destroyed one of the assault troopers, and you can see that sort of asterisk symbol down there, where the assault trooper was, is actually the singularity itself in play. So I'll probably cast out another singularity in a moment once it's recharged. There we go, singularity is recharged. So we'll launch another singularity out. And you'll see it actually stunned our enemies. We'll have to reload, press R. And we'll just try and whittle these down a bit. Could launch the Cobra missile here. Or indeed move to another area. But I think we're in a fairly good position. Although, it might be worth crossing over to the other side. Just to our east here. I think that looks like it has a better selection of cover, and it has sort of an escape route at the rear, whereas in our current position we're quite boxed in. So let's trot over there quickly, hope that we make it. If you look at our shield bar, it's being whittled down, but it's now regenerated a little bit. An enemy is coming up behind us, so I want to target that one, launch a singularity at it, and then try and take that out, because we're exposed on that side. You can see the assault trooper to our south is about to come into a position where we might be able to grab it. We need to reload. Yeah, see that fist symbol there, flashing over the assault trooper sort of southwest of us? That means we can tap in that direction and we'll perform a devastating melee attack. Yeah, there we go. So we've got a level up. In fact, it looks like we've had 2 level ups. So let's press C, as it says at the bottom, to upgrade our powers. And then we'll spend some points. So, as I said, I'll upgrade Singularity. Rank 2 of Singularity costs 2 points. We have 6 to spend. So, I will indeed buy better recharge speed. And then What does Alliance Training do? Level 1. It increases weapon damage, power damage, and our carrying capacity. Fitness, health bonus, shield bonus, and melee bonus. So let's take that. We'll take level 1 fitness, basically for health and shield bonuses. The level 2 one also gives us health and shield bonuses, so I'll buy that. That leaves us with 1 point to buy the first level of one other power. So let's buy the first level of Shockwave, just to have a bit of variety in our biotic powers here. So at the moment, Singularity and Shockwave are both recharging, so we're going to have to rely just on guns for the time being. So keep shooting at these assault troopers. 2 of them together makes it tempting to use the Cobra missile, but I think it's going to be better to try out Shockwave. So let's use that. Okay, it took out one of the enemies and I think staggered the other one. You'll notice that, as in Mass Effect, when we use one biotic power, they all have to recharge. So you can't just sort of chain them together as you would in something like an MMORPG, where you hit 1, hit 3, hit 2, and then by the time you've done all of that, then number 1 has recharged. No. You have to decide which one you want to use in the current circumstances, because they will all have to recharge once you've used one. This assault trooper's almost dead. Its health is displayed at the top there, so we'll just finish it off. Another assault trooper is just about coming into range. You can see there's a little ammo clip there, so we'd better hop over and grab that while we've got chance. Get back in cover. We managed to avoid taking any hits there. We could try to manoeuvre round, but I'm inclined to just let the assault trooper come towards us. It's staying in place and just popping shots at us, so we're going to have to move around. I'd like to head south from here. There's that sniper rifle down there, which I'd like to have a look at just in case it's a good one. But you might also notice a couple of little rectangles which kind of have a Y symbol on them, which are usually upgrades, weapon upgrades. So I'd like to grab both of them if possible. So we could try to head south and make a run for some more cover, or we could try to circle round. Tell you what, let's launch a Singularity at that assault trooper, and then run sort of southwest for another line of cover. Oh god, more assault troopers. And a Centurion, that's bad. Okay, we need to get in cover here. Oh god, there are millions of them. Okay. Oh, Jesus, a grenade. So we have to move out of cover now, or we'll just be completely destroyed. So let's run down here and get this upgrade. You pick up the pistol high caliber barrel. Well, that's fine, but we're not using the pistol at the moment. And they've just thrown down a smoke grenade, which means we can't see who's approaching or how close they are. Okay, we're now in melee range. Melee attacks, as in Mass Effect, are pretty strong, but they also leave you very vulnerable. So if we just sort of bump into this assault trooper, we stagger it, but at the same time, we're very, very vulnerable. So I'm going to move away a bit, and I'm going to immediately fling out a shockwave here to try and knock some of these enemies away from us. Didn't work all that well. This would be a good situation to use the Cobra missile since they're all bunched up, but I think we're actually too close to them. So we might have to just make a run for it and end up using our shield or Medigel regen packs here. So let's try and run past the Centurions. Okay, back behind cover. We didn't take too much shield damage, and you can see we're getting a flashing fist, so we can perform a grab attack on whatever is there. It's not dead yet, let's try again. There we go, and that gave us a level. So we'll upgrade our powers a bit more. Let's take another level of Singularity for a damage increase. Oh, we only have 3 points to spend. What does level 2 of Shockwave do? Recharge speed is higher. Okay. Or rather, recharge speed is improved. So let's spend 2 points on improving our Shockwave recharge, and then our remaining 1 point on the first level of Alliance Training, which gives us a weapon and power damage bonus. Okay. Now, you can see at the top of the screen where it says Centurion, This will be familiar to anyone who's played the Mass Effect games. You can see it has kind of a blue bar overlaying a red bar. That means it too has shields. So we're going to have to deplete its shields before we can finish it off. So I'm going to launch a singularity. Oh, hell. It jumped over and flanked us. We're going to have to hop over the cover here. They are taking damage from the singularity, so that's not too bad. Basically, we're going to have to just pile into it with our SMG here and hope we can finish it off. That wasn't too bad. The singularity is doing good work for us. We need to reload, so I'm going to kind of dodge around a bit, try to get into reasonable cover. Singularity is recharged, so it's tempting to use that again. So we'll do that. Of course, we need to reload. We could kind of do with running away here, actually. I'm going to dodge round the cover and then perform a grab on that assault trooper, then dodge back, like this, another grab, and another level up. So, hopefully I'm giving you some kind of idea of the way that this game plays. It's kind of difficult to describe without giving you a demo. So, 6 points to spend, that's good. So we'll increase damage of shockwave, singularity rather, and then also improve our melee damage since we keep doing grab attacks. So yeah, hopefully I'm giving you an idea of the way that this works as sort of an arena combat game, but very much based on the way that the Mass Effect games work. God, we need to get into cover here. And grab him, and then use a singularity over there, and try to finish them off with bullets. Yeah, so this is how it works, and at some point we will need to find the exit. Oh, let's grab that ammo quickly. Oh no, the Centurion popped up and stood on the ammo. So, let's shockwave it, and then just pound into it with bullets. Leap over, get the ammo, leap back. And let's try to find the exit. I don't know if we even need to take out all of the enemies here. It might be one where we just get to the exit and run away. Okay. I think that kind of left triangular arrow there is the exit. So let's head there and see if it'll let us leave. Yes, okay. So we didn't need to destroy everything on this level. We just needed to leave. Bogies incoming! We only managed to get one of the upgrades, which is disappointing. But there's another one to our northwest here, so we'll grab that straight away. You pick up SMG scope. So that will actually be useful to us since we are in fact using an SMG. More Centurions. Let's pop off a singularity at them and get into cover here. And then try to take out this closest Centurion. Oh no, we're in smoke. That's bad. Run away, run away. Okay, let's grab that Centurion. Another level up. Improve the radius of the singularity with all of our points there. Shoot out another singularity. Get behind cover. And then, you know what? Let's use the Cobra missile. Let's live dangerously. So we'll equip that by pressing 4. Select an appropriate target. And fire. Boom! That took out not only several enemies, but also a great chunk of the scenery. So that could actually be bad if used carelessly. Now we need to switch back to our normal weapon, which is out of ammo, reload, and start again. More singularities, which completely missed and flew across the room. Anyway, I'm not going to just keep going for as long as I'm able to survive in this game. I just wanted to give you an idea of how the game plays. So that you will understand what I'm talking about when I say why I recommend it. I'm generally not a big fan of arena combat games, and there are a few roguelikes that do try to do arena combat, but it's just not something that really works for me. I find that they feel a bit directionless, and I'm not the sort of person who enjoys optimization exercises generally, which arena combat generally comes down to. This Nemesis is going to be an issue. I'm not the sort of person who plays to optimize. Run away from the grenade. So arena combat games which tend to focus on making your combat abilities optimal often don't appeal to me. But this one is done in a way which is not only familiar, because I've played the Mass Effect games extensively, but is also just a bit more engaging. The way that it incorporates biotic abilities in a recognisable Mass Effect way is very effective. And the fact that the arena combat isn't just about destroying all of the enemies. Sometimes the objective is just to exit the level. I find this combination of factors makes this a much more enjoyable version of arena combat than I would usually encounter. Having said that, you probably get the most benefit out of playing this game if you're familiar with Mass Effect. We took quite a lot of health damage there, that's not great. I can't comment on how enjoyable this game would be. Don't want that sniper rifle. I can't comment on how enjoyable this game would be to people who are completely unfamiliar with Mass Effect, because I'm not in that position. And short of some kind of Hollywood-style amnesia escapades, I'm not going to return to a position where I'm unfamiliar with Mass Effect. So I can't comment on how much value you'll get out of it if you're not familiar with Mass Effect. But I think it stands up well enough on its own. The mechanics are strong enough that even if you don't get all of the references and you don't automatically recognise how to use the abilities and so on from experience of Mass Effect, I think it's probably still worthwhile. It's a well enough designed game in its own right that, again, this is conjecture, but I would imagine that it stands up well enough on its own merits that it could be enjoyable. At the same time, though, it's not going to be the kind of game that you play extensively for long periods, because it is basically a succession of combat arenas. You know, there isn't sort of depth of character development or long-term strategy. You know, it's not a net hack or an ADOM or anything like that. It is a series of combat arenas. So it's more one for quick, action-packed bursts of play. But it does reward careful, thoughtful play, despite being action-packed. So, all in all, I think Rogue Effect is a very strong attempt to bring at least some of the mechanics of Mass Effect into a roguelike setting. And the fact that it's actually opted to focus on the combat is probably a wise choice. It might be more difficult than you would imagine to make a Mass Effect style sort of full RPG in the style. Which do I want here? Melee, damage, or shield? Let's go with shield. It's probably more difficult than we might imagine to make a sort of full RPG scale roguelike based around Mass Effect. So I think this is a good choice, and certainly it stands up well for short bursts of play. And you're not going to survive long if you don't play carefully, so it does still encourage a great deal of thought, although it is kind of action-centric. So anyway, this has been Rogue Effect. Like many roguelikes, especially ASCII roguelikes, it's available for free. I will put download links in the description box below if you want to check it out for yourself. And certainly I'd say if you're a roguelike fan who also likes Mass Effect, then it's well worth checking this out. Even if you're not familiar with Mass Effect, I would speculate that the mechanics are probably strong enough that you can get some enjoyment out of this anyway, without being familiar with Mass Effect. So, anyway, thanks for watching, as always, and rejoin me next time when we'll do more videos and more game stuff. And hopefully next week, there will also be another Roguelike of the Week. This one has been Rogue Effect, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time. Bye for now.